It's you. I must have let my mind wander. Enough for you to wander in. Forgive me. I am drained. Ever since you killed Ketherick and took his netherstone, the Chosen's control of the brain has been brittle. It's rebelling against Orin and Gortash, fiercely. I suspected that when we took Ketherick's stone, the brain would begin to break free. Those brain quakes confirm that my suspicion was correct. I do not know what happens now when it receives their orders, and I do not dare guess.
You feel the Emperor's fear as if it were your own. An elder brain enslaved is one thing. An elder brain unleashed will be the end of everything.
Beautiful, isn't it? The mighty Prince Orpheus, contained in submissive slumber. Come. You may as well sit a while, now that you are here. Your company isn't unwelcome. Trying to guard us. The brain is restless, but I am distracted, and my lack of focus is endangering us. I'm haunted by memories. They are relentless. I can think of nothing. No one else. Not love, no. What I had with Belen Stelmane was much more than that. It was unique, at least when she was alive. You thought you were my first ally. Far from it. I have long sought the allyship of others. It is the only way to succeed, though my relationship with Berlin was different from my relationship with you. I see that you are unable to let that go, but do not forget that I trusted you with my life, as you trusted me with yours. Manipulation or not, we need each other. My relationship with Berlin was similar in this regard, though less dramatic. In life, she was my business partner, back when we ran the Knights of the Shield. A difficult task for a mind flayer. Duke Stelmane trusted me, and the city trusted her. I conceived the plot, but Berlin took center stage. It was she who met with the merchants, politicians, and patriarchs. It was she who negotiated deals and signed off on agreements. Her rooms played host to the most important conversations in the city. Together, we brought order to chaos. At its height, everything that happened in that city went through the shield. Through us. I could not have done any of it without her. Just as I cannot do any of this without you. But now, she is gone. I appreciate your understanding. What I feel is deeper than superficial cures can reach, and not entirely unwelcome. Most people think that mind flayers are soulless husks who feel nothing. I am glad you are not most people. Another quake. The brain is rebelling again. I need to focus, and so do you.
soldier.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey. Fine. What's on your mind?
How are you holding up? Don't be so modest. I can't remember the last time I met someone like you. Perhaps I never did. And never will again.
The dog wags his tail, a small bag clenched between his teeth. He gives in and surrenders his find to you. Scratch's tongue lolls out happily, his tail wagging even faster.
New guy. Mate, it's your birthday. You deserve to cut loose.
Librarian.
I presume you've found something interesting to discuss, if you're interrupting me again? A Baal plot? You as well? Devella's been harping on about Baal for months. Fancies herself something of an expert. I assumed it was just a bunch of conspiracy codswallop and fear-mongering. But she's been unusually insistent about this one, even for her. Fine. I'll bite. What's your theory? No need to wave documents at me. I'm already drowning in paperwork as it is. Constable Devella is going to be a real pain in the trunk about this. Since you seem to be on an obnoxiously similar wavelength, why don't you seek her out? She'll be at the Elf Song Tavern. Show her the list, and I'll stay and inform the Fist here. Oh, and you'll need this pass. It'll give you access to the lower city. Well, what are you waiting for? You've a bloody conspiracy to solve. Move!
The tadpole reveals your mind to Lae'zel. She knows you refused to bargain with Raphael.
The means to loosing the Prince of the Comet was within our grasp, and you refused it. Why? I wanted to follow the open valley, the easy way out. You chose the brambled path. I'm annoyed by it. And I admire you for it. We'll find a way into Raphael's lair, and we'll take the Orphic hammer and smash Orpheus's bonds. Yisk Githkar Tafki Crashet. The Githyanki will be free.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey. All right, some company wouldn't hurt on the road, especially if there's trouble.
What's on your mind?
With pleasure. Lead on.
Which way to the nearest library?
I shall be here in my camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. As thou desire.
Quite ready for you.
is ash and meat.
New guy in trouble.
Oh yeah, well, I'll tell you now. What path lies before me?
Great! We can bond with ton of people, and none of them have taken such a privilege.
I got it.
If we make you feel
What's there? Danthalon's dancing axe. Half a safe house to hero mentioned.
Built this deal.
You're shopping for a suit.
Yes, but they were
Dinner with
Gortash's
my
idea,
parents?
which makes him the
Never.
Be
inventor.
cursed.
How about we settle on the Gondians and Gortash?
A hero is nothing without the right equipment. See Danthalon's dancing axe for all your adventuring needs.
Such an object. I could conjure one up for you if you like.
Let's go to Khan's Gardens. She has the most
give up a kiddie for a tour of the Steel Watch Foundry.
Perfect for a show.
Very well then. Once the city is saved, Karlak's connecting cleaver will be first on my list.
You told me the armor was a bargain.
It was. We could argue it's hard to win in a fight. A real fight. They didn't rush it.
Welcome to Danthalon's dancing axe. Our stock isn't used. It's tried and tested by the finest adventurers.
I want to have a word.
Greetings, sir. Your noble bearing brings a little class to my humble establishment. How may I be of service? Harpers. I'm afraid I serve a grubbier class of clientele than that. More chancers than champions, if you take my meaning. Present company excluded, I'm sure. No, I don't know any, Jahira, was it? I knew it. I knew she wasn't dead. Fine, yes. You have the right place. But where's the leaf flicker herself? She wouldn't have revealed this place otherwise, which makes you one of the rare breed she does trust. Here's the key. The others are below, and bearing bad news by the looks of it. Always. Your father bless you. Right, Sommy. You're on the door till our friends are done. God's forbid we do any business today.
There.
Mate, it's your birthday. You deserve to cut loose.
The librarian does this thing. Why does crossing the can't sit here until the end of at least a double bed?
How about the flop house? It has plenty of space.
Such a prude.
Birthday boy's just nervous,
If
but
we
don't
make you
worry.
feel better,
Everyone
then
is
fine.
No one back home will ever believe
I
this.
recommend
If not over,
2 doses.
then through.
Tim. Actually,
Yes, darling, it's
invented the
very
steel watch.
leather-like.
No, he merely offered patronage. The Gondians
You're
built the steel
shopping for a
watch.
suit.
Don't draw any trouble on old Enthar. He acts like he's up for it, but he's retired for a reason.
call and I answer.
At least things have stayed interesting. Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Hi, Harper. May Seluna's tears shine on this meeting.
A very formal greeting, Geraldus. You are well?
Yes. Hi, Harper. Standing beneath Seluna's tears.
The lad's a little nervous, Jaheira. We heard of your great victory against Ketheric.
Geraldus isn't nervous. He's terrified. And he's using Seluna's tears as some kind of code.
I understand, Geraldus. Take a moment. And you, Harper. There is something familiar about you. Doesn't she remind you of our old friend Marcus?
Jaheira's meaning is clear. Marcus was a traitor laying a trap. The same, it seems, is happening here.
Oh, clever cub. This is an ambush. Strike first, while they focus on me.
Gods, it's hot in here.
This way.
And I thought we were going to be friends. I can still move fast when I need to.
May the dice roll in my favor. Pawn to cleric 4.
Well, so much for peace. At the ready.
Want another?
More
Blood comes easy these days. break. This feels good.
Feel their anguish.
This is the easy part.
Mistra Rill. With ease.
Eat this!
On my word, no surrender.
How many has she brought to Baal's side, I wonder?
Mahler's mark. How many more Harper's dead?
On my way.
Actually, Gorton invented the steel.
Thank you! A Harper code. Meant to be used for doppelgangers, imposters, things like them. You're the one High Harper Jaheira sent. Right. Equal to the High Harper. You can give her my report, then. The others. They're all dead. Or scattered. Jaheira sent word of the victory over Ketheric. Set us hunting after the cultists in the city. But they were the ones hunting us. Things were quiet. Until we started to ask about the Rashomar.
Rashomar, a native of Rashomon, the far eastern land known for its wild inhabitants and the witches who rule them.
The High Harper didn't tell you. Perhaps it's not my place. Just tell her this. I can't continue the hunt. Whatever the cult has done with the Rashomar, they do not want him found.
Lauren knows the hunt. In one stroke, she places the Harpers beyond our reach. Separates us from our pack. Until we know who the false facers are, we cannot trust anyone beyond ourselves. A shame of mine. Redoubled because I did not tell you everything sooner. Tell me, what do you know of a man named Minsk of Rashomon?
Your ruined brain lurches and bilious intestines squirm. A hero, an enemy most foul.
I sense you mean no insult, calling scarce a century ago the old days, which is considerably more insulting. Minsk is an old friend. Perhaps my oldest. We've fought at one another's backs times beyond counting. And the last time I saw him, I left him to die. There always is. But that is still the fundamental fact of it. Before we ever heard of this absolute, we received word of a gathering in the Undercity. What we found was the first dark seed of this plot. A circle of cultists with mind flayers in their midst. We might have ended it there, cut off at the root, but before I could send for help, Minsk charged in alone. It was chaos. He was overrun, dragged down beneath a mass of tentacles. I had a choice. Stay and let word of this cult die with us, or leave him and live to fight another day. The world takes much from those who presume to defend it. But sometimes, you get to take it back. So don't be sorry, because I mean to use you, if you're willing. Infection, indoctrination, eradication. That has been the fate of everyone the cult has captured so far, but it has not been yours. With your help, perhaps it need not be Minsk's either. I'm not asking for promises. Just the chance. Oh, the point is moot without a means to find him. Without the Harpers, we shall have to find another path. I'll have a better idea of what that is once we're through the gates. Seems I need to reacquaint myself with this damned city.
Even the venerable Harpers are compromised by the Absolute's poison. A grim turn of events, but one we must take in our stride.
Shapeshifters in the Harpers. My dad always admired their mission. Said they gave up their entire lives so we could live safely and asked for nothing in return. We'll rout them, right? For the city and for Dad.
We can't rely on the Harpers. Not when Orin has them infested with shapeshifters. We're on our own. Though, I suppose we're used to it by now.
What's on your mind?
So much for the cavalry riding to our rescue. This is what we get for putting our faith in a network of spies, I suppose. Then I'll see your delicious self tonight.
Oh, I have the magic touch.
Shopping first.
My pleasure.
Must lug my guts through this hell. Just thought of something.
Yes? There might be, but... it's not a path I tread until we must. Let it wait until the city proper. Perhaps I'll have had a better idea by then.
Pave my path with corpses. Build my castle with bones.
We're shopping first. Dinner with my parents, remember?
What, by the Morden Summon's curlies, went on down there? Of course they bloody did. Clear out then. I'm guessing I have some tidying to do before the steel watch squeals by. I've had enough dealings with Harpers to know I don't want the answers. Go on now.
You're not wearing armor to meet my mother and father.
Did you get to look at their gyrometics? Or their
Another quake. What's going on?
The brain is breaking free.
Sorry, chum, can't let you through. Worms Rock's closed for the day. Valeria? Well, I'm not messing about with a murder inquiry for damn sure. Straight ahead across the bridge. A blind ogre couldn't miss it.
Naughty, naughty, naughty little master. You have disobeyed your father's wishes one time too many. For he who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself becomes a monster. When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you. Another will embrace what you have rejected, and that other will be your death. But your father loves you dearly. You may hurt yourself yet. Slaughter your line. Become the last of your name. Lord Baal shall have but one chosen.
Memories flood back, snatches of your story written in the blood of 1,000 victims. Years spent in worship of Baal, leading his savage congregation in prayer, sacrifice, and slaughter. You were their master, and he was yours. A cruel master, a dread lord, a devoted father. All is as you feared. You are a spawn of Baal, his heir, his scion. You are not the last of your name. Not yet. There is another. The abomination wrapped in flesh you saw in the colony. Orin, it's time for a family reunion. But be wary of your confessors. Will friend turn to foe, knowing what you are?
Halt! We do not know how you gained entry, but your trespass shall not be punished. Lord Gortash has been expecting you.
The Watcher's presence fades, but another takes its place. Confident, dominant, commanding.
Greetings, old friend. Orin told me you were on your way here, but I scarcely believed it. Welcome back to Baldur's Gate. Welcome home. Allow me to formally invite you to my inauguration. Make your way to the ceremonial hall.
We shouldn't have any more trouble from the guards.
Well, you have a rather vacant, tadpole finally ate my brain look about you. You're the boss.
What's on your mind?
The urges are calling on you again, aren't they? I haven't seen you sleep through the night once in the past days. Well, it certainly sheds some light on the sleepless nights you spent tied up trying to slit my throat. Bloody hells. A Baalspawn. Probably more Baldurian parents scare their children with stories of your kind than mine. I thought your kind was extinct. Goes to show, you should always check your facts. So, how are you feeling? Keen to reconnect with your family? Or ready to throw yourself in an oubliette? You know, I didn't realize you and I were so alike. I felt paralyzed to do anything about Cazador for so many decades. I gave up on myself. I gave up on any hope of escape after a few lashes. Mal controls you in much the same way. I don't know how you could beat him, but I do know this. You must try. The half-life of a mind-addled slave is worse than death. Don't become his. I wouldn't live another century as one for all the moonstones in Everesca. I'm all pointy ears, my love.
Hey, soldier. That's a heavy weight. I know you can carry it, but it's heavy all the same. You are so much more than your parents. You're more than the affliction that wants to consume you. You are my friend. And you get to choose your destiny. Choose well, all right? Please.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey. I suppose that makes you quite remarkable. Though not in a way I'd envy, perhaps. From what little I can recall hearing of Baal's mortal children, not all succumb to his influence. Perhaps you can still resist your nature, if you want to.
Job, and leave the steel watch. Yes?
The Harpers have been compromised. A balancing power now unbalanced. Jahira's support has been invaluable. We should return it in kind. Mind flayers are like devils. They just sport tentacles rather than wings. Clever, manipulative, exploitative. The Emperor says he's a friend. I think we'd be fools to believe him. And maybe it's true. Maybe Stelmane allied with a mind flayer and subjected the city to their political will. Or maybe he made an offer she couldn't refuse. Hells. It explains so much. Listen to me. I knew another like you. Gorion's ward. One of Baldur's Gate's great heroes. Baal's blood ran through their veins too. They burned away their own darkness with their own inner light. They chose courage. They chose honor. And so can you.
What's on your mind? A Baal spawn? Gosh. I know what it is to have a closer connection than most with the gods. But with Baal, that's not a bond I'd like to be bound with. You should be careful. Very, very careful.
I fought proudly alongside Harpers once. But it seems we cannot place our trust in them now. Not while Orin has their ranks infiltrated. You are a mortal child of Baal. Be careful with whom you share that fact. I hear many of your kind have met premature ends.
Thy wheel of fate turns ever to the dark. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection?
Come to bask in the glow of the Moon Maiden's sword? Be most welcome. I am free from my bonds, but not you must face them. I will...
On my way.
Except if you're a criminal, of course.
Gortash is expecting you. Please make your way to the audience chamber.
If it isn't little Will's chums. I hope he hasn't been too much trouble. Heard about his father. The Dead Three's puppet. A travesty, really. He's upstairs in Worm's Rock, ordaining Gortash as Archduke. A splendid shindig, I hear. Perfect for crashing. Go on up. We'll talk after. And bring the pup along, if you can. I'd hate for him to miss the fun.
Sorry. These dukes are working me to the bone.
I need a quick word.
Look, I'm all for Gortash, but those clankers, they don't sit right with me.
Because they do your job better than you and without complaining? It is unnerving.
Imagine where we'd be without them. The city would be overrun.
They're all that's keeping this cult at bay.
He has a point. They make people feel safe, if nothing else.
Ha! You hear this? Tell my friends how safe you feel with those metal giants stamping about.
They're a true miracle of engineering.
Ha! It'll be a miracle if they're still working in a 10-day.
Lady Alia says the Absolute's army won't be causing trouble for Gortash. Or for us.
Master Porter, I've taken the liberty of... Oh, you're not the Master. Just as well.
Lord Gortash is expecting you. Please make your way to the audience chamber.
Orin be damned. Her bloody fingerprints are all over this city. I'm not surprised. You've become death incarnate. Mighty, yes. And altogether unpredictable and intractable. One day, perhaps soon, Baal will demand your fealty. You'll either muster the strength to defy him, or you will succumb. I know how I'd choose.
Always good to talk, my friend. That's the spirit.
Lord Gortash is expecting you.
Elturel will still be stuck in
Please
the
make
Hellgate
your way
waiting for
to
him.
the audience chamber.
Go on up. Pay Gortash a visit. A fate to remember, I guarantee.
Ravengard is a legend.
Kinspeople, Baldurians, friends, thank you for joining me on this exceptional day.
It's him. Gortash. This is it. I can practically taste his blood from here.
My father's here, Karlak. Cool your fires. He must not come to harm.
Fine. I'll wait for now. But that prick Gortash is going to pay.
Please come forward. What a surprise this is. My favorite assassin, back from his bloody disgrace, joined with my old bodyguard.
Hang on. What? You know each other?
Oh, I'd forgotten. Your memories are quite lost, aren't they? Orin told me she'd made a fool of you. To think you and Karlach traveled together all this time and she hadn't the faintest you were one of my nearest and dearest. Let me clear up some mysteries then. It's about time, I think. You and I initiated this plot. We discussed in depth the failures of our predecessors and how to avoid them. We understood that if we were to unite, no one could stand in the way of the Dead Three. So, unite we did. First, we obtained the crown. Then we enslaved the brain. From there, it was but a small step to the most successful religious hoax ever perpetrated. It seems so. In Baal's name, you set your bloody daggers to cause panic in the streets, killing in the Absolute's name. You would have carried out that part of the plan had Orin not ruined your hard work. Next, the threat of the Absolute's monstrous armies formed by Merkel's general, Ketheric Thorm. In such circumstances, people crave strong leaders. Leaders that bring law, order, and protection. Leaders like me, Bane's unyielding hand, author of justice. You are soon to witness the people of Baldur's Gate granting me complete power over them, all out of fear of the Absolute. The faithful will do anything in the name of their god.
It was all going so well, until you vanished. Orin informed us that henceforth she would speak for the Temple of Baal, and act on their behalf.
But she made a mess of things. Unlike you, she cannot control herself.
Hang on. What the fuck is going on here?
Good, good. I can see you're still your old self. When Ketheric fell, I feared the worst. That our plans would fail like so many before because of discord among ourselves. Now you've returned. We can achieve all of our dreams still. You brought Thorm's Netherstone. You know, it takes all three to control the brain. Without Thorm's, it's become vexingly willful. The quakes are a clear warning. If nobody steps in soon, it'll free itself from the authority of the Crown. I expect it'll start with turning the Sword Coasts infected. You among them. That prism of yours won't last indefinitely. Next, the grand design. The Mind Flayer Empire reborn. If we're lucky, we'll become slaves. If we're unlucky, well, a bleak prospect. But it's a fate that can be avoided if you and I renew our old partnership. Together, we can still restore authority over the brain. It's not, but it will not follow new orders unless the Netherstones are united to give the command. When it finishes executing its current orders, it will be free to do as it wishes. That will be bad for everyone. The Crown's magic turned the brain into something the world has never seen. A nether brain. Its power is immense. Once it is freed from its shackles, I doubt we'll ever be able to bring it under control again. Ousting Orin and helping you reclaim your birthright would be my greatest honor. With Ketheric gone, Orin proves treacherous. She wants the Netherstones for herself. She only cares for blood. And your blood and mine are of particular interest to her. Orin changes shape faster than you and I change clothes. You know, she's tricked you before. She's targeted me as well. I'm well protected, but she's extremely good at what she does. If Orin obtains all three Netherstones, she'll plunge the coast into chaos and paint the city in blood. I can't let that happen. I want to lead this city to glory, not scorch its earth. So I turn to you, the former ruler of the cult of Baal. Let's make our pact anew. A divine oath, sworn upon spirit and flesh. I do no harm to you, nor you to me. Furthermore, you'll have nothing to fear from my steel watch while our pact stands. Thorm's stone is yours to keep. When you slay Orin and take her stone, you bring it here, so the three are united once again. Together we rule Faerun as kings. No, more than kings. Gods. We rule as the absolute.
The urge, the deplorably brutal urge, sickens within you. When you level the world over, that dead world must be yours alone. But first you will rule. Then you will ruin.
What do you say? Shall we be allies?
I can detect no deceit. This alliance could serve us well. And if it does not, well, we need not honor it.
Let's be allies, said the viper to the frog.
We would not meddle in each other's affairs. This was our agreement. She came to us as Baal's chosen. We are but servants to our lords. Your presence here means your lord sees a purpose for you yet. I tolerated Orin, but I liked you. Orin is unreliable. This one shows promise. He keeps his word, I keep mine. We will rule as one. Perhaps a demonstration of why you need my help will motivate you to make the right decision. Your camp is compromised. One among you is an imposter, a faceless. Who, I can't say. I'd suggest a thorough investigation. You'll find I speak the truth.
A doppelganger in our camp. That sounds all too believable.
The faceless in your camp is like a knife at your throat. Remove it quickly, or any alliance between us would be exceedingly short-lived. Orin is elusive, shall we say. The grip of the steel watch may be tight, but sand still slips through its fingers. Some conflicts are best resolved quietly. The people are cattle, obedient until panicked. You carry the stone plucked from Merkel's chosen. Besides, why call you enemy when I could repair an old friendship? Even horror has a home. Find her nest and slay her there. The Baal Temple, your old haunt, now reeks of her ichors. Do you even remember how to find it? It's a secret even to me. You're resourceful. I trust you'll sniff it out. If the trail goes cold, follow the bodies. Before you do, come and witness as I make history as the first Archduke of Baldur's Gate. Then we proceed. The patriarchs await. Distinguished dukes, patriarchs, dearest Ravengard, I will heed your call. A new chapter begins.
Enver Gortash, swearest thou by Balduran's blade to defend the citizens of Baldur's Gate from enemies within and without?
I swear.
Swearest thou true faith and fealty to the same, by word, deed, and decree, so that none may suffer?
I swear.
Gathered guests, grant ye consent? Enver Gortash, the Council appoints you Archduke of Baldur's Gate.
My friends, the Steel Watch stands ready. Let its blade fall on any who would diminish our city. And you, honored guest, will find me in my office above when you return. Do not come empty-handed.
So there you have it. Lord Enver Gortash in all his glory. What did you make of him? Yeah. Fucker always had expensive taste. I don't know how anyone in this hall could fall for this charade. Isn't it obvious what a chancer he is? Hard to explain it any other way. Then again, I guess they just want to feel safe by any means necessary. If only they knew the truth. The Dead Three orchestrated all of this. And it's working. I wish this city, the people running it, were smarter than me. Gortash isn't their salvation. He's the monster at the gate.
Unthinkable. To see my own father named Gortash, the sole ruler of Baldur's Gate. Please, we need to speak with him. Maybe he can see reason.
I thought I was the one most burdened with secrets. Seems I was very mistaken. All this time we've been fighting and fleeing from the Absolute, and we've one of their figureheads in our midst. But I can hardly hold that against you. You seemed as surprised as I was. If you're able to resist your urges, then surely you can resist the lure of past allegiances also.
Hells, you are Baal spawn. It explains so much. Listen to me. I knew another like you, Gorian's ward, one of Baldur's Gate's great heroes. Baal's blood ran through their veins too. They burned away their own darkness with their own inner light. They chose courage, they chose honor, and so can you.
Tadpoles? The Absolute? It was because of you? I think you've said and done more than enough. Leave me be.
So, it was you who got us into this mess. All along, we were traveling with the creator of the Absolute. I won't lie. I am a little impressed. If it wasn't for you, I'd still be stuck in Cazador's kennels. So, thank you for being that evil bastard.
I'll not trust the word that slithers out of Gortash's mouth. I need to hear it from you. He named you as Baal's chosen. A Baal spawn. Is it true? The last time Baalspawn walked the world, it was only to serve their father's design. We got lucky in averting it once. If your kind walk the world again... No. No! Doubt between us only serves Gortash. Only serves the Absolute. Give me some time. I need to think.
There we have it. You were working with Gortash. You were a chosen of Baal. I guess you still are. I want to say it doesn't make sense, but it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? I should have seen it earlier. All the signs were there. I don't want to talk now. Give me time. A lot of it.
Always good to talk, my friend.
Truest of souls, bathed in her light.
There is a fleeting connection. Your parasite communes with his, then falls quiet.
Have you come to behold the new dawn? Help me. Ah, the Black Widow caught you in her web. Floric chose shadow over light. Her betrayal burned deeper than the fires of Avernus. She's been punished for her lies. Don't let her get to you.
Why do I get the feeling the punishment will be far, far worse than the crime?
I stilled her tongue. That's the end of the matter.
Within Ravengard's memories, you find Councillor Floric. She is confined in a cell right here in Worm's Rock.
The sun rises, true soul. Are you ready? What is a hero, if not an actor for the greater good? Faerun suffers in darkness. Tyr has abandoned us. Helm's Eye has strayed. But Baldur's Gate will soon burn bright, a beacon to light the heavens. Gortash and I will ignite the final spark, and that, true soul, is the greatest of goods.
Where am I needed? Everything is clear.
Your parasite binds your mind to Will's. Your memories of talking with Ravengard become his.
You spoke with my father. Incredible. To hear his voice speak those words, like a stranger wrapped in his flesh. I won't let the Absolute keep him. This is my pledge.
Dearest Karlach, I'd busy myself finding Orin if I were you. I'll still be here for any unfinished business once you've secured your camp.
Well, that's it. That's all you have to say to me.
Were you hoping for something else? A word of wisdom? A hug?
Thanks to you, I don't hope for things anymore. I just take whatever it is I want. See you soon, motherfucker.
You most certainly will.
Moving ahead. Always a pleasure.
Wrench the Orphic hammer from Raphael's grub. I'm listening.
I've had a lifetime's fill of watching little men buff themselves up with grand titles. I look forward to the day we show the Archduke that his tongue is not half so silvered as he thinks. We could. It would just be a very short one. We cannot expect either of the Chosen to fall easily. But fall they must, if we're to have all 3 stones to command the brain. Still, if you see sense in making an alliance, I won't question it. I'll just look forward to the inevitable breaking Gortash spoke of. It would be irritatingly true to form, would it not? A Harper learns to doubt. To peer through every smile, question every look. Eventually, you find what it is you fear, whether it is there or not. When we cannot know, we can only trust. But then, that is exactly what a traitor in our midst would say. Isn't it?
All's well, I hope, aside from the obvious.
Oakfather preserve you.
How can I help?
Precious little Baal babe. Can we? I suppose we can. I don't know. But isn't it nice not to know? You're not a victim. Not a target. Not just one night it's better to forget. But then, whatever in the world could you be?
What did I tell you? A momentous occasion. I'm sure you agree.
I've had enough, Mizora. What do you want?
Your attention, little pup. Nothing more. And you'll be glad to give it. You see, Gortash has had your father relocated. Rude. I'm just an impartial observer. This is Gortash's game. A murderous one, the way I hear it.
Shit.
Your dad's good as dead, pup. And to think, there's no way to save him. Or is there?
You know something.
I know enough. I'll be in your camp if you want to work something out.
Of course she'd stick her infernal nose where it doesn't belong. Of course she's dreamt up some risible scheme. By all the hounds of the hells, what is she planning? Certainly not. But she's as inevitable as Toril's path around the sun. We'll have answers soon enough. Mizora's gone to camp. We should speak with her. Until then, may my father keep safe, whatever coop he's been flown to. Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready. And just when things were warming up.
Is a
Evangard is a charlatan, like every last patriarch of this riches.
What he means to say is that the
Hells, not this again.
The brain is resisting its orders. Without all three stones to control it, it will soon start acting on its own will.
By order of Lord Gortash, all livestock admitted to the city must be surrendered. All livestock is now property of the Ducal Council for the duration of the ongoing emergency. Failure to...
Gods, this is the first time in 200 years I've seen these streets in the sunlight. You can forget just how much color there is in the world. Yes, of course. Obviously. Sorry, did you want something?
I've got a good mind to...
Baldur's Gate. You know, I never quite believed I'd actually make it back. Wasn't until we got within reach of Worm's Crossing that it felt real. It's so strange. I don't remember much of it, yet I can't help feel like I know it. It feels like home. I suppose it is. Though the chance to savor the moment might be brief, given all that still lies ahead of us. I may have to rely on your local knowledge to plug the gaps in my own mind. Hopefully, I'll remember more than I expect to.
Good hiding from Lord Gort.
I made it back. I'm here. Thank the gods. Thank the gods. You really did it, huh? Not worried about adding more illithid into the mix? Well, what can I say? You look fine, smell fine, seem fine. And yet, you're more mind flayer than ever. Hope you don't expect me to follow your lead in this. Do they? I'm not sure either of us can say one way or the other. We don't know what the costs might be just yet. Good. And you know, keep an eye on yourself. If you start feeling loopy, shout. We don't know what these tadpoles are capable of.
The bustle here takes some getting used to. Crackling fire and a tressum for company is usually more my speed. Still, we must flow with the current we find ourselves in, however tumultuous it may be. If you've need of me, I'm glad to help.
Livestock is now property of the Ducal Council.
Yes? I have. And while I do not love my conclusion, that does nothing to change it. The Harpers are the city's best information network. With them out of action, we shall have to fall back on second best. Nine Fingers Keen.
A name known and feared throughout the city's underworld. The mysterious Keen runs the guild, which in turn runs every criminal enterprise in the city.
Nine Fingers is much more than a thief. Nothing happens in this city that she doesn't learn of sooner or later. How hospitable she will be to a harper that comes begging to her guild hall, we will find out. Perhaps I will let you do the talking.
What are you gonna do? Check under my...
Keep your distance, darling.
What's cooking?
Always nice to be wanted.
Intestines throb. Blood whispers. Moving ahead. A private word would be nice.
I received a dispatch from the Grove. Life carries on there in our absence, just as nature intended. My chosen successor, Francesca, has proven to be a wise choice. Perhaps the wisest I ever made as Archdruid. One grand victory may not be enough to absolve a host of small failures. That is where true leadership lies. Not in winning a single vast battle, but in fighting 1,000 smaller ones. Making 10,000 difficult decisions. Finding balance where none seems possible. Day after day. I was all too eager to surrender my responsibilities towards the Grove. Perhaps I was never meant to be Archdruid. To be a leader. Indeed. But I have roamed far and wide for years. Whole lifetimes. I have seen much, done much, learned much. It would be a shame not to pass that on. Forgive me. The Shadow Curse occupied me so entirely and for so long. I almost missed the purpose it gave me. Now I must find a new one.
Still breathing, despite everything. Never a dull moment. All right. What now? If not over, then through. Always a pleasure.
This is the city proper, is it? I didn't expect it to be so outrageously ordinary.
Yes? Ask it. I did, though I don't often speak of it. So many seem to think they know the whole story already. I find it a pity to correct them. We can speak of old battles later. Our plate is piled high with catastrophes enough for the present, huh? You speak of a battle more than a century past. Baal's minions led us through a maze in the Undercity, older than Baldur's Gate itself. We paid little mind to the path ahead, let alone how we might return, or that we would return at all. Still, the Undercity shifts. We might search down there. Or better yet, find a ballast to lead us. I've learned not to unpick the legends so many have woven around our name. Seeing the hope die in a romantic's eyes, it is only funny the first few dozen times. Some call the Harpers heroes. Others, petty meddlers who cannot help but stick their nose into every conflict they stumble across. The truth is in there somewhere. We try to work towards a common balance. If every other faction finds us equally annoying, that is probably a sign that we are succeeding. I will not bore you with a long tale. The short. I was born to a high family in Tedir. I remember little except that when my family fell, they fell far and fast. I learned young what fear and hunger make desperate people do. I learned to do some of it myself even. Until a roving circle of hedge druids found me. They raised me in the wild. But when it became clear I was perhaps not suited to a life of idle reflection, I was sent to the Harpers. To do. They showed me how to fight with sword, as well as spell, and gave me ample causes to wield them for. If I was not always the truest believer in every cause, well, I fell in love with someone who was. And that is almost the same thing. No, not really. You might say that. I left their service and swore never to return. Multiple times, if I recall. It is easy to get tired of the intrigue. The high causes shrouded in secrecy. I thought I might find another way to be of use to the world. And for a time I did. But my comrades would use a rather irritating phrase. A harper never leaves the chorus. She simply goes to spread the song. Meaning that whatever cause I turned my hand to, there I would find them. Harpers, stuffed with their own virtue, but always there. Always trying to help. So I returned to the fold. Returned to the city. Eventually they hung a title around my neck. High Harper. And I still do not know how to play one. If I tried to spare Geraldos the same headaches, well, now you know why. And if he is half the Harper I suspect, it won't make a damned bit of difference. But you're staring. Which means the tadpole has finally eaten your brain. Or have I been talking too much? Either way, time to move, no? Ha! No. No, thank you. Let the wiser members of my order wrinkle their brows over that particular phrase. In all my years fighting for the Harpers, I am still never certain what the greater good means. I've learned to be content with, well, that was not so bad as it might have been.
Copper for your thoughts?
Gods, you're beautiful.
How can I help?
Any complaints will be handled after you turn your animals over to the care of the Ducal.
What good is that gonna do us? How are we gonna support ourselves?
Mistra has a shrine.
Still can't fathom that they hang folk in this city. Those gallows get more use than some temples. Every 10 day, I write into the Baldur's Mouth about it, and every edition fails to mention it. Pathetic.
Eyes front and keep your nose clean, newcomer. A noose and a short drop is how we deal with troublemakers. By then, it will be too late. I can't help the dead, but I can warn the living. Stay the path and obey the law, and you have nothing to fear.
Don't distract me. It's all I can do to stay balanced. Yes, I stole a purse from the evidence room. It was stupid, and I swore to Blaise Portier I'd never do it again. Ever. I have to stand on one leg until she believes me. That's not funny. If I fall, I have to start all over.
The thugs are getting bolder. My husband's been mugged twice this month, if you can believe it. You be safe out there. Can't trust a damn soul.
Citizen, you are being accompanied by a malfunctioning steel watcher. Please stand back.
I think you have the wrong hunk of metal.
False. Report your purpose, steel watcher. Why are you following these citizens unbidden? Ah. I understand your malfunction. Your unit is a highly outdated model. The Ragnak's casement protecting your metallurgized iced valves is burning well outside the recommended temperature. Please report to the Steelwatch Foundry for dismantling.
Yeah. Hey, Metal Man. If I report to this foundry, can my engine be fixed?
Your make is very obsolete. Repairing your engine would be not only impractical, but impossible. Report to the Steelwatch Foundry for immediate dismantling.
Yeah. Tell me something I don't know. Not sure. Maybe whatever keeps them going is similar to my tin can. Turns out I'm the fucking prototype for these things. I'll dismantle every single one of them.
Any threat to the Steelwatch is a threat to Lord Gortash himself. Please report to the Steelwatch Foundry for immediate dismantling. The Steelwatch Foundry is off limits to visitors. This malfunctioning unit can escort itself back.
What's on your mind?
About time. The Manip assured me a builder would come around a 10-day ago, and hold it. You're not the builder. Which means I've got no use for you. I need someone with a little more know-how. Hooligans at the Mermaid have been using my shutters for target practice. And that's not the half of it. I've had to replace the same window 3 times now, not to mention the mess they've made of my front door. Now either you learn to fix my broken shutters, or you wag your tongue elsewhere. Right off.
How many times do I need to say it? You sent word about a lead, said that I should come see you about it.
Of course, madam. Let me just... Forgive me, why are you here?
Is this some kind of sick joke? Do you have any idea what I've been through these past few days? My daughter Vanra, my little girl, she's missing. This stupid, useless fist said she had a lead, but she must have been sucking Dream Mist or something.
Madam, tell me. You said... she was... taken from a tavern?
You catch the barest tendrils of magic coiled around the flaming fist.
Yes, the blushing mermaid down by the docks I told you 100 times. Why aren't you listening?
Someone or something has tampered with her memory.
What were we discussing?
What's happening? I feel like I'm going mad!
Nonsense, I'm fine. Madam, tell me why you're...
here, and I will assist.
God, you're right. Something's wrong with her. Can you help me? I've no family, and Vanra's father isn't around. The Flaming Fist was my last resort. I'm so afraid. I'm so tired. I've been looking night and day everywhere I could. Her name is Vanra. She's 7 years old and has red hair, like me. We were in the Blushing Mermaid when she was taken. Just up by the docks. Of course. The front of house, Bosun Gannet was there, and the owner of the Blushing Mermaid, Captain Grizzly. Neither lifted a finger to help me look. It was awful. No, unless you count a couple of old drinking mates at the next table. But they'd be no help. They barely remember their own names. I was sober, though. I swear. I stop in the maid for a drink sometimes. But it was only a quick one. Thank you. I'll head home. Can't stand being around these idiots any longer. Come find me the moment you hear anything.
I apologize for the hassle that woman caused. Such time wasters and troublemakers are a plague on the Flaming Fist.
Blaise Portier is perfectly fine. She's simply under tremendous pressure. There's nothing to worry about.
That might be worth a look.
I'm way too big.
Oh, I have the magic touch.
All's well that ends. Oh, not as bad as it could have. Never wanted the easy path.
Hello, hello, and all that.
Run.
Raven Gore's back, I hope. Better twist some arms, clean up the riffraff.
Come to have a go. Give it your best shot.
An air of decay hangs over the stooped beggar's form. The smell of rot, the smell of death.
Gold first. Then you can hit me.
Tried that once. They took the gold and hit me anyway. Better this way. I still leave with gold in my pockets. So, you having a go or not? You don't pull your punches, do you? Back for more? I don't mind, so long as you're paying. Charge too much, people hit you harder. Then they take the gold back. Besides, I've taken enough punches for free. At least this way, I get paid something. So, you having a go or not? Then move. Let someone else have a go.
Open up.
And we pity those who would reject her. I smile as a fever's sear me.
The Elfson Tavern. I wonder if my old things are still there. They could be of use to you.
Listen and submit to the Mistress of Disease.
That bad? You want the who's who and the what's what? Speak to Karis. She's always got the best goss. None of it's been wrong yet. Found anything interesting in today's broadsheet, Karis?
Now don't believe anything Kate over there tells you. She's an awful liar.
Gortash, an archduke. Saw him once at a distance. Looked like too much of a pipsqueak to fill those boots.
Talona? You want to let Talona loose in our city?
Probably best if I keep a low profile. They used to know me all too well at the Elf Song.
Are the gods truly this petty?
Is there something you want to talk about, my dear?
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey. Fine. What's on your mind? How are you holding up? Don't be so modest. I can't remember the last time I met someone like you. Perhaps I never did. And never will again.
Table 14 want their eggs now.
Pardon me, sir. You look prosperous. I'll bet you have someone who'd like a nice piece of jewellery. At discount price. for a good cause. A beautiful necklace. It belonged to my grandmother. I'll give it you for a bit of coin. Escape. Escape from Baldur's Gate for my husband and me. Lord Gortash wants Marek's head, so we have to get out. There's a smuggler's sloop leaving for Waterdeep with 2 berths left. But the captain wants a fortune for him. This necklace is all I have. You think so? I wish I shared your optimism. But I can't. For Marek's sake. Goodbye.
Aye, aye. Pull up a seat. If you can find one spare, that is. With all this talk of war, what else are folk to do but drink? I reckon the murder we'd had something to do with it too. Got punters all intrigued. On that morbid note, what can I get you fine self? I tell you what, the murder upstairs has brought some punters, but it's also really spooked folk out of renting rooms. If we get you staying up there, perhaps folk will calm down and realise there's naught to worry about. You can have the whole upstairs floor until this killer thing blows over. Charity! In Baldur's Gate! Good one. Oi, oi! I've got a good thing going here. Don't need you casting nasty aspersions. You can have it free if you shut your maw. Top floor's all yours. If it gets a bit too noisy at night, well, don't sleep above a pub.
How do you address an archduke? Your Excellence? Your Eminence?
Welcome back. What can I do you for? Going to make this place famous, I reckon. Victim is a bloody duke. Boleyn Stelmane. Well, she was a duke. Now she's just bloody. I reckon I'll be able to charge double for that room once the constable's done with it. Murders and ghosts are always grand for business. At least, I hope. It's been slim pickings since the Absolute butchered that supply convoy. But have a look. Fill your boots, mate.
Where were some of these fancy folk brains? Bloody...
Another? Should I have another? Oh, it'll make to preserve me. I need the courage. No, sir. We abandoned our farm when the Absolute Army marched in. We used to sell our barley to the brewer who makes this very beer. That's all over now. Why? Be more point to that than getting mad at a plague of locusts or the weather. We're farmers, not fighters. That's not the answer for us. Oldest boy, Corson. He means well, but he eats as much as the rest of us put together. I have to find him a place here. A fancy feller called Three-Piece wants to place him as a cleaner in the counting house. But I don't trust him. Maybe I should just join the Flaming Fist and take the signing bonus. What else can I do? Ah, that's a solid tip. Could work out for a gentle kid like Corson. Thanks, stranger. You helped settle my mind. Thanks are all I have to offer, though. Mail meter bleed for you. This was brewed with my barley. I wonder if this was brewed...
See Alan at the bar for drinks. I'm busier than a two-pecker goat.
This was brewed with my barley.
Hold up, citizen. This is a crime scene. No admittance. Halt, civvy. Turn back. This is an active crime scene.
Hold on, Thornhill. I'm tired of standing here. Devella's been up there for ages. Some diversion would be welcome.
Constable Devella said she wasn't to be...
Investigator Valeria outranks her. As you were, civvy. Fair warning, though. She's in a foul mood.
Stellmane's parlor. A place to receive clients and informants. I wonder if it's as I remember it.
Bollocks! I told those idiots not to let anyone through. You. Name, rank, and reason for interrupting an active crime scene. For your sake, the last one better be bloody good. A hobbyist detective? I can't fault the drive. I read the Boulder's Mouth crime reports like a starving wereball before I worked for the Fist. But you should leave it to the professionals. It's not healthy for civilians to see scenes of such a sensitive nature. Unless you've got useful information, leave me to my work. Duke Stellmane's dead, and I've got to find who killed her. Ball? That's exactly what I... Wait. How do you know about that? Oh! Oh my! Biomartyr's rag, that's... It's fascinating. I should arrest you at once. But well, the Bile Spawn crisis is the most interesting criminal plight in Baldurian history.
If what you claim is true, you wouldn't be helping me here unless you were trying to end Baal's hold over you. Just like the wayward Baal spawn who saved the gate before. You are here to help me, and not to sacrifice me, aren't you? It's my job to be. Though I confess, it has been very interesting. You see, these murders have been cropping up all over the city. I've been following their trail for a while now, and tracing it back to its roots. They're always the same. Victim paralyzed by poison, absolutist symbol scrawled on the floor in blood, hand removed pre-mortem. The ritualistic brutality of them, it's extraordinary. And it could only be the work of a Baalist. But you've been investigating too, if I'm not mistaken. You're trying to stop your own kind. Gods. That's it. Proof that I was right. I'm glad you're on the right side of this, Baal spawn. You could be invaluable, if you can get on the inside. Hells, you might be the only one who can stop this. What else do you know? So it's all happening again. Just like in Saravok's time. A century ago, Baal bred dozens just like you. One of whom was Saravok Anshev. He ruled the Iron Throne. A dark tower hiding a darker secret. It was the front for a deadly arms-dealing network. There, Saravok amassed an army and sought to become a god. Under his stewardship, the Baal Temple was revived. And with it, the Baal cult itself. Fortunately, the temple was destroyed. And to cleanse the city of Saravok's memory, the Iron Throne was torn from its foundations and cast into the Chionthal. For most, that was the end of it. But cults like that don't disappear overnight. That list you spoke of confirms I'm right. The Baal cult is back. And someone is out there, continuing Saravok's work. Stranger things have come back to haunt this city. The brutality of the killings is on a par with Saravok's own. But there's something more here. Something new. There's a reverence to these murders. A certain flair. It's as if they were done in worship. The precision of the cuts. The depth, the execution. The best butchers in Faerun couldn't make a cut like that. Trust me. I've asked them. I tried to explain all this to my superiors, but they wouldn't have any of it. They told me to drop it. Told me the city doesn't need another conspiracy theorist and to get back to doing my job before they find someone else to do it for me. But you're not bound by such constraints. Oh, help me out here. Help the city out. Follow the trail of these murders. Prove the truth. Use your lineage to get places the Fist can't. Believe me, I wish I could, but I need this job. Half the Silk Root Chewers in the gate have claimed to be a Baal spawn at one point. The Fist don't listen to ghost stories. You're better off not raising any suspicions. Trust me. There are patriarchs on the murder target list. I'm oathbound to secure them first, so I'll be heading to the upper city next. While I'm there, the other potential victims will be at risk. Could you warn them? Not from round here, are you? We're in Baldur's Gate. This is just how things work. Thank you. That's all I can ask, and more than I hoped. Once I'm done with the Patriarchs, I'll head to Basilisk Gate to have another go at convincing my superiors to put some resources into this matter. Meet me there if you've anything more to report. And good luck. The people of the Gate are fortunate another of Baal's children stands against him. Walk in light.
You know why they're called steel watchers, right?
Bloodied ring. Guess the killer didn't want jewelry. Better not be cursed.
That's just the steel watch do it. Let go. As long as they do their jobs, they can see shadows.
Lots of blood. Some pink stains, too. Let's have a look at myself.
What's that?
Hey, would it kill you to laugh?
Strange bottle. Even stranger smell.
Well, I like big tips.
Strange bottle. Even stranger smell.
Your Excellence, Your Eminence.
Unusual bottle. An even more unusual scent. People pay to drink this.
A peculiar bottle with a peculiar smell. What is that?
Smell that? Poison. No doubt.
Keep it together. I should mind my step.